And I ran out of breath at about 8. But even looking at the tachometer there. So I'm right about 4,500. I think this is third at 4,000 at 42 miles an hour. All right, so here it looks like we're gonna get on 66, maybe. Ride it a little bit. I don't have time to go to Romney. Romney's having a demo today. I don't think we can make it out to Romney for the end. Well, we might be able to. I think it's a 3-hour ride. I mean, Romney's a nice place, a nice ride, but Jesus, is that a long way? It just takes for eons to get out there, man. I can't wait to try this in the R1. This is exactly the kind of, well, it's even a little bit more open, I would think. But the big challenge is riding the R1 on shit roads like this. Oh, this looks like it could be fun. Left side on-ramp, sweet. Rock and roll. $73 miles an hour a second. Got an 8. Not bad. Look at this pipe. Guy's not giving us any space at all whatsoever. No respect. All right, I'm topped out, 6th gear, whatever, 75, 72, 6,200 RPM, 63. That was a nice little shoot, man. I have to try that one, like 12R. Yeah, the bar's a little bit too high for this. I mean, you can ride it. Let's see you come shooting off of here and bends it into this corner up here at the top of the hill. Shut it, no. Easy, buddy. I was going to do that on a bike you've never ridden before. I got slightly behind on the brakes, but it wasn't too bad. It was definitely brakes were perfectly acceptable. That was fun. And we go back on, what is this, 15? No, 7, Lee Highway. I'm not sure what that was. What road that was. I don't know if that wasn't the Beltway, was it? Yeah. That was the express lane in the Beltway between 50 and 7. Looks like, or somewhere close to 50. I don't know why we're sitting here, but I guess he's going to wait for the light so we can, ordinarily I'd be out there, but he's waiting for the light so he can stay tight. So, that wasn't bad. I mean, it's not bad. I think functionality-wise, it's adequate. My whole thing is a lot of these bikes are okay, but I still think you need a little bit more to justify riding them. And one of the things I see is a lot of miles per gallon, a lot, 60 or higher. or a little bit more acceleration. We really had trouble outrunning that van back there, and I don't think either one of these bikes is that fast. I mean, the slowest two bikes in the group probably. And I rode about 75% throttle coming down that hill. The bike was never really scary in terms of acceleration. It was potent, but I wouldn't call it scary. So it's not something that, you know, I think a beginning to intermediate rider would find too much to handle. Like my FJ-6R, man, I tell you, if I'd hit that thing in first or second gear and got even halfway in the throttle, it would be like, it would have just, I'd have been screaming in joy. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's exhilarating, it's so fast, and then you just go, it's scary as shit when you first get into it, then it gets exhilarating when you ease off and you didn't die, and it's like, wow, it's like jumping off a cliff. The feeling you get is so intense. You're like, holy shit. And you're waiting for the back wheel to start spinning, it doesn't spin. You're waiting for the front to come up, it doesn't come up, but it just goes. And then when you ease off the throttle, you're like, it's just this rush of endorphins. This bike doesn't have nearly that kind of power. It just isn't there. And it's borderline acceptable power-wise. And you know, we're following this guy right here. On a 7, FZ-07, not the world's fastest bike. So, handle that bump nicely though. That I definitely appreciate riding this bike, not the 07. So I have to say, I think I'd rather have this than the 07 because they're roughly the same power-wise. As a matter of fact, I'm sure this bike is a little bit faster than this 07. But the throttle is much better, way better. Just miles better than the newer. I mean, I don't even know if I can overemphasize it really. To not have to worry about getting your hand kicked or getting kicked around when you go over a bump. That's not insignificant. It allows you to ride the bike with your much better control. Even if you can manage the throttle, and it certainly can be managed, okay? With the 07 and 09 throttles can be managed with some attention and some care. I'm not having to, like, you know, baby the throttle. This thing has some slack, not a lot of slack. I mean, honestly, I'd probably put a little bit more slack in it. I don't have to baby the throttle, and I don't have to worry about when I go over bumps, like even over that depression I just went over just a minute ago, just going up and down, whoop, whoop, like that. It's enough to make your hand twitch. And on the 09, especially the A mode, and even the 07, that will snap you back and forth. That's enough to do it. So the problem with those bikes is they're a pain to ride on anything but a glass smooth road. Anything we have a significant bump, like the stuff we're going over right here, would be enough to make the bike jerk backwards and forwards as your hand moves. So this is, I would consider this an upgrade over an 07. And it would be probably over an 09 as well. I don't think the 09 has enough power to compensate for that. I don't think it's a good enough bike to compensate for that throttle. It does have more torque off idle, but you don't spend a whole lot of time starting and stopping compared to riding at steady speed. Or, you know, riding at speed, let's put it that way. yeah, it's, you know, it's a little bit more, certainly more mellow than a, but I would put it up in the 09's class in terms of off-idle torque, not in the 07's class. I think it has significantly more power up and down the power band in the 07. It doesn't fall right off at 8,000-9,000. It just says drop off like the cliff in terms of power, like the 07 does. This is a nice bike, nice all-around bike. Styling is a bit garish. You know, the side panel is a little bit overdone, a little bit too much mass there, I think. But it's an interesting idea, I think, would be to turn those side panels into some kind of slide plates or something, you know, where you can, if the bike tips over, they extend out, say, 10 degrees, and they protect the bike from, you know, any real damage. And they're slide plates, and you just peel off the front, say, and replace it with just a panel. You know, you don't have to replace the whole damn fairing. I think that would be a great idea for, you know, for a street bike. With the one caveat that the more the bike slides, the more likely it is to continue sliding until it hits something. It hit something at a good speed too, and then you get damaged because of that. The problem is if it doesn't slide and it sticks a lot, it tends to tumble, and then you get a different type of damage. You don't want the bike tumbling down the road and bouncing and flipping and shit like that is not what you want. But then basically you don't want to wreck, you know. But I would say of the avoidable accidents, or the accidents that you can't, you know, the inevitable accidents, I should say, a slide is pretty common, and it would be nice if it would protect the bike from major damage. It shouldn't rest on the handlebars, and when you start getting the handlebars on the ground, you start getting a lot of triple clamp frame, bracket, all this kind of damage. This is serious damage. Expensive damage to fix. Or if it's just slides and it doesn't contact the handlebars at all on the slide, you're looking at, you know, a $100 or $200 plate that you could replace with minimal, if any, damage to the rest of the motorcycle. So I would like to see not just crash testing for motorcycles, but I'd like to see slide testing. Like, if you do lose the front end, what does happen to the bike? And now your low speed maneuverability test. Just wait for that. And around here, that's not bad. It's going to be fun on R1 though. I think that R1 is going to be a bit of a problem. Watch out for that dirt there, guys. I think the R1 is going to be a bit of a problem on this ride. A lot of gravel. All right.
Yeah, damn, I like that thing.
Yep. You believe they had two of the same ones?
What?
I didn't know they had two of them.
What, R6s?
Yeah, that's R6. This is, okay, they just look alike because they're painted, same paint scheme. Okay, cool.